Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful financial story that's been making the rounds. It's this idea that a handful of insiders are using some seriously advanced AI to call for a massive 90% market crash. Now, our job here isn't to say if it's true or false. Instead, we're going to break down how an argument this compelling actually gets built, piece by piece.
And boom, here's the hook. It's not a gentle suggestion, is it? It's a flat-out declaration, a 90% probability. This isn't just a prediction, it's designed to be a gut punch, to get past all our usual skepticism and hit the alarm button in our heads. This is the bedrock of the entire argument.
All right, so our goal here is to basically put on our detective hats. We're not here to be the judge and jury, not at all. We're just going to be investigators following the breadcrumbs to see how this story is constructed. Let's see how all the pieces snap together to make something so convincing.
Okay, first up is the core claim. Every compelling story needs a really strong opening, and this one starts with an absolute bang, a specific, terrifying number and a very real-sounding ticking clock.
Just look at the power of this one number on the screen, 90%. Think about that for a second. It's not a vague, oh, there's a high chance. No, it's a number that implies it's practically a done deal. And that right there is a deliberate choice to create the biggest possible psychological impact. And notice, it's not some distant, far-off threat. The source puts a tight deadline on it, Q 2025. That's not just a date, it's a fuse that's been lit. It's designed to make you feel this personal, immediate sense of urgency. The problem isn't out there somewhere, it's right around the corner. Okay, so once the argument has you a little scared, what's the next move? You've got to back it up, right? So it shifts from what is going to happen to who already knows it's happening. The narrative brings in the smart money to make the whole thing feel much more credible.
And the first piece of evidence they drop is a jaw-dropper. Over 200 times $1 billion. The way the source frames it, this is the total value of defensive moves that major hedge funds have already made. It's a number so huge, it's meant to make you stop and think, wow, they must know something I don't.
And to make that huge number seem legit, the source very cleverly name-drops the Bloomberg terminal. Now, for anyone not in the financial world, that might not mean a lot, but trust me, it's like the holy grail of financial data. Mentioning it is a classic way to borrow credibility and make your claims seem rock solid. Next, they make the evidence personal. Exhibit A, Warren Buffett. As you can see, the argument zooms in on his massive $85 billion cash pile, framing it as the highest it's been since 1981. The unspoken question is just screaming at you, what does the Oracle of Omaha know that we don't? And it doesn't stop with Buffett. Then the spotlight swings over to Bill Gates. The claim here is a supposed 40% shift in his portfolio into defensive sectors. This isn't presented as just a little tweak, it's another big, calculated move by someone who supposedly has access to better information than us.
And this slide right here is where they tie it all together with a bow. The source says it flat out. These aren't just a couple of lucky guesses or coincidences. It directly connects the actions of these billionaires back to the main idea. They're acting on secret intel from these powerful AI models.
So this brings us right to the heart of the mystery. The secret AI models themselves. The story now promises to pull back the curtain and give us a little peek inside this supposed black box technology. What makes them tick? And notice how incredibly specific the claims suddenly get. This is a masterclass in persuasion. It's not just banks are getting nervous. Nope, it's JP Morgan's AI showing an 87% chance of a correction. It's Goldman Sachs' model seeing 23 critical red flags all at once. That level of detail makes it feel so much more real and harder to just dismiss. This framing is just brilliant. The source actually coins this phrase, the billionaire secret, which you see here. And what that does is it instantly creates this powerful us versus them dynamic. There's what they know, and then there's what you don't. And of course, the source is positioned as your personal guide into that secret world. So how in the world do these AIs get their supposed edge? Well, this is where it gets really fascinating, almost like something out of a sci-fi movie. The source lists these incredible data points, analyzing social media moods, using satellites to spy on factory output, tracking global shipping, even scanning LinkedIn for hiring trends. It paints a picture of this all-seeing technological oracle. Okay, so after building this really compelling case built on fear and exclusive knowledge, the narrative makes a crucial pivot.
It shifts from just presenting the problem to actually offering the solution, and it's a clear, urgent call to action.
And here's where that urgency gets dialed up to 11. Just like the 90% figure from before, this 72-hour deadline is a very deliberate choice. It's a classic tactic. It's meant to create pressure, to stop you from overthinking things, and to push you towards taking action right now. So what is the proposed action? The source lays out this simple 3-step crisis playbook. Move to cash, buy bold miners, short volatility. The simplicity here is absolutely key. It makes a huge, complex financial problem feel manageable and gives the audience a real sense of control.
This message right here, this is pure psychological genius. It creates a very clear us versus them choice. It tells you, the viewer, you can be one of the unprepared masses who always gets crushed, or you can be different. You can join the smart money. It's an incredibly empowering choice to offer someone. And for the final act, the argument makes its most brilliant move. It takes all the fear and anxiety that has been carefully building and completely reframes it. It's no longer a threat you have to survive. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity you have to seize.
And here is that message of empowerment. The fear that was built up this whole time is now transformed into a chance for massive gain. It's a powerful shift that turns you from a potential victim into the potential victor of your own story.
And finally, the entire argument from start to finish leads to this one moment, the call to action. The source positions itself as the only place you can get this censored information, urging the audience to subscribe. This reveals the real goal of the whole narrative structure, to turn a viewer into a customer.
So, stepping back, this whole narrative leaves us with a really critical question, especially for the world we live in today. When we're presented with these kinds of compelling, data-heavy arguments, how do we draw the line between a genuine prediction and a really sophisticated piece of manipulation?